When I gave birth to my son, 2 months afterwards, I suffered from a condition called Postpartum Psychosis. Hello my lovelies, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Real Auntie Talk. For those of you who are new here, my name is Advice, and on this channel, we talk about things in life that people should share, but they choose not to. So when you guys last saw me, I was heavily pregnant. I successfully gave birth to a bouncing baby boy. So in today's episode, we are going to be talking about what a lot of women do not share with you about childbirth, pregnancy, and postnatal care. I'm actually convinced that a lot of women gatekeep this information around childbirth, because if we really knew what childbirth was about, we probably would rethink this whole wanting to have a baby thing. You see, they say, oh, women are strong, women are strong, women are strong. Now, let me tell you, if a man wants to disable a woman who is strong, the easiest way and the easiest thing to do is to get her pregnant. What a lot of people do not actually know is that black women are actually 5 times more likely to die from childbirth than any other ethnicity. One of the first things that you should seek and learn to understand when you become pregnant is your medical health history. And this is not exclusive to just yourself, it extends to your family members as well.
What did I hear you say?
So things like diabetes, heart conditions, high blood pressure, and mental health conditions. Now, when I gave birth to my son, 2 months afterwards, I suffered from a condition called postpartum psychosis. Okay? And it happens to 1 in 1,000 women. And typically what they say is that it is usually hereditary. To be clear, it is not postnatal depression. And I don't want to get into it in this video because it's quite long for me to explain. But if you do want more clarity on it, please comment below, let me know, and I could do a whole video on this. Another thing that you should become conscious of after you've given birth is your sleep. You'll have the midwives and everyone around you stressing that you should sleep when the baby is sleeping, but no one tells you why you should. Here's why. You will burn out, your days will become the same, almost like a continuous loop of madness, and if you do not get enough sleep, you will develop serious mental health issues. Don't let these influencers fool you, okay? When you give birth to that baby, you are going to need all hands on deck. When they say that it takes a village to raise a child, it does. Another thing that they really should emphasize a lot is strength and conditioning of your body. It's fine if you are not a gym goer. Gym is not for everyone, okay? Let's be real. But you really need to get your body into being active, because labor is not a sprint, it's a marathon. So you need to be prepared to go the long haul. Oh, and taking that first poo and first wee is going to be trying, quite difficult. Some of my friends actually recommended a laxative. So another thing that you should be aware of after you've given childbirth, and what they should really tell you, is that you will bleed. You will bleed like you're bleeding for Jesus. Now, I had a natural birth and I was bleeding a lot. For me as well, another thing during my healing that was kind of crazy was the fact that I couldn't sit down. It felt like somebody had used a wooden plank and hit it on my backside. You're going to need to invest in one of those BBL pillows because you're not going to be able to sit down properly for a while. Another thing that they should really tell you about childbirth and postnatal care is that breast milk does not always come straight away. In my case, my breast milk started coming out fully a couple days after my son was born. Before this period, it was literally something called colostrum, and it comes out in little drips. It's very like watery. It is not breast milk, okay? But the midwives will force you to breastfeed or encourage you to breastfeed because it makes the breast milk come. Another thing that you should make sure that you do during your pregnancy and during your childbirth and afterwards, always ask questions, because a lot of the midwives, the nurses, a lot of the time they don't look like us. They do not look like black women. So you have to learn to advocate for yourself and ask questions, especially if it's areas where you feel like, hang on a minute, this doesn't make sense. Not only should you ask questions, but also do your research. The internet is free. And lastly, the final thing that they should tell you when you are going into labor or experiencing childbirth is that your water can break during labor.
My head is splitting, man.
Mine did. Mine broke at 8 centimeters dilation. And when it broke, it was not clear like you see in the movies. It was brown and green. That in itself was a medical emergency, because that's when the child apparently has pooed in the sack, and that's not a good sign. And that's the end of today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like this video, please show me a sign by pressing that thumbs up button and liking it, sharing it with your friends, and pressing that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.